Police FC and of course the police bullet. They have ambitions. How far can that go? Now let's shift gears to Eldoret, where of course our heroic Olympians returned home last week and President Ruto rolled out a red carpet welcome for them. Let's take a listen to what President Ruto had to say regarding their performance at the Paris Olympic Games.
We all know why we have 4 gold medals. Because the 5th gold medal on steeplechase is missing. Mr. Murkomen.
The 5th gold medal is missing. Maybe we'll start from that. That's the steeplechase, basically, where we are not doing very, very well as compared to before.
You know, transition, as we are in transition, it takes some time because we knew Kemboi was the one who was taking that race in
fact,
the Olympics.
Kemboi has requested to be on this show to give an explanation as to why no one has won that medal after him.
We'll basically,
yeah. So I think we are still in transition space, and then selection. Of course, we have a lot of youngsters that are coming up. So transition will still each us for some time. Maybe the next Olympics we will have the correct people to go and run. But again, they did very well. I don't want to take credit from them. They did very well. This is easy kama kudance. It is running. You're using energy. You have to eat well. Climate is different. So it's about running. So I'll give credit to them. They did very well.
Shitera, just hold that thought you have, but I want you to answer to this question.
Yes.
I'll play the devil's advocate.
Yes.
I think having won 16 medals in 2008 in Beijing, we've been the best in Africa. I think by now Kenya should be aiming at least 20 medals, and not struggling with 10, 11.
In fact, I will tell the president, not the 5th, but Beijing we did 6 golds.
Yes.
So the 6th one, Asbel Kiprop, we also lost it. We have never recovered it. And we should be aiming for the 7th, 8th. And our target in 2024 should have been 10 gold medals. But we maintained 4 gold medals, the same as we did in Tokyo, Japan, under COVID-19. 4. Under very serious planning and preparations, we did not deserve 4 gold. We did not deserve 13 medals. We deserved more medals. And again, I'm happy that the president has taken the cue that we really need to invest in our sportsmen and women. Zita, it's not a transition, because the last time we won that gold medal, Rio 2016, those are 8 years ago. Yeah, we should have at least maintained the
squad.
No, we should have at least maintained the gold record that we did in Rio 2016. So I think the president has taken the best cue. Make sure that Talanta Stadium is complete to perfection. Make sure that renovation of Kasarani Stadium is complete to perfection. Make sure
football, Shitera, but
no.
I want you to bring this.
Talanta Stadium
is
a complex, a sports complex.
The thing here is, as a country, and this is a fact, we don't have a single athletics track owned by the government, managed by the public, meant for the athletes, including kitovu cha wakimbiaji. Nyinyi ndio Waswahili mtasema
Kamarini.
Yeah, ukienda kule bonde la Ufa, that's the what I'll say, the DNA, the spiritual home of athletics. What they are really to point out and say, this is the home of athletes. These are the facilities giving birth to this success.
And that is where I was heading. You see, I started by saying Talanta Stadium. I did not mean, because Talanta is a sports city. The way it is designed, it will house every aspect of sports. I'm talking of Kasarani Stadium. It's not a stadium as it is. It's a sports complex, because it is the only place that we have the best gymnasium for volleyball,
which is in horrible state.
I'm hoping it is being renovated. And that's why I was saying that the president has taken the best cue, and let him see to completion and perfection of Kasarani Sports Complex, Talanta Sports City, and where he was speaking from, Kipchoge Keino Stadium. So These are the things that we are talking about. These athletes will not come from nowhere. They will need to come from at least somewhere. And when we talk of government support, it's not just about the per diems when they are going out for Olympics.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the camps when they are going to Miramas in France. It's from scratch. I loved it when the CS Sports says, we'll start following up on these talents now and know that in 2028, when we are going to Los Angeles in America, these talents will be at least 16 then. So we need to start preparing them when they are 10, 11, 12. Let's scout them in schools as it's going on now.
Absolutely.
So pick them and then nurture them.
Also at that event was new sports CS Kipchumba Murkomen, and he was equally making pledges. Let's take a listen to what Onesimus had to say.
There is a lot of hard work, waking up in the morning, beating your body, denying yourself food, denying yourself pleasure, denying yourself your family. If you go to training camps, these athletes are sleeping on a very small bed, you know.
Of course, sleeping on very small beds, he says, but he's talking to the hard work these athletes put in place and the tokenism. We saw the state reward the gold medalist with 3 million, silver medalist 2 million, and 1 million for bronze. Basically, this policy was put in place during the tenure of retired President Uhuru Kenyatta. And some school of thought are of the view 3 million for gold is too little, is a drop in the ocean, going by the kind of effort these people put in and flying the country's flag very, very high. And we saw rightfully when we won a gold medal, our girls or boys would be the podium, the national anthem would be belted out as our flag is hoisted high. And also is here the fact that some of our athletes are opting to represent other nations. And I'll give Yavi as a case in point. Winning gold for Bahrain and what she took home dwarfs by far what our athletes were given more than 10 times. What do you make of that?
Well, first, in the spirit of fairness, I remember that day the truth of man, Rick G, said that he was encouraging the athletes, and he said that by the end of the first 1 week, you know, when we had won no medal at the Olympics, Kenyans were really shouting and shouting. Then they were silenced in the last week.
True.
So in the spirit of fairness, I want to say government has at least done something, and it's good. Nonetheless, the question I would pose is this. What would have happened in terms of, you know, the rewards if we had like 10 gold medals or 20 gold medals, if that was possible? Because if Shuja, for example, won that gold, which is a possibility in the near future, then you'd have to give all those players 3 million each, meaning that there should be money enough to do even better than that, as you said. And I think that I have just read this morning that a can of worms has been opened regarding the sports fund again. And the president talked about it that day, which really means that we have a lot of money that can even do better in terms of rewarding, but at least we have started from somewhere, or is not lost. But let me also talk to the idea of some of those lost medals. It's a cocktail of factors, ladies and gentlemen, because you ask me, there is a question of the infrastructure that Shitera has mentioned. I don't want to belabor that. It's all open. In fact, for me, when I was watching that event, it was a shame that the Lingard himself, Kipchoge, you know, assisted there. And even the president actually, you know, pointed to him that indeed these are our Lingard. But the man is getting old and old and old without a proper stadium to his name. A man who has been inducted, you know, a permanent now member of the IOC, or whatever, because of what he has achieved. Yet he's getting old and old without seeing a stadium, proper stadium in his name. It is not good. But why do I say it is a cocktail of issues? And really, some of us are ready to give some of the free advice, even to the new CS and other administrators. There is something to do with the
pro bono.
Yeah, pro bono, free. Number one is to do with the sports law, the Sports Act 2013 that we have. It has a lot of gaps that if they're not checked, all these efforts may be infiltrated. Number two is the idea of how we manage our athletes. Case in point, Swila. You see, the president talked about that gold that we have missed in 3,000 steeplechases. When Kemboi retired, there was a person who was coming up very well and even became a world champion in the name of Conseslus Kipruto. Now, Conseslus, and it is in the public domain, was not able to manage himself as an athlete well, was not able to be managed well, and that's how he faded at a very young age. We know many other athletes we have lost because of management.
Another gold we lost is in marathon.
In marathon, of course, managing of athletes. So it's a cocktail of many things. The way we see our global stars, right from here, we should manage them better. But I'll finish real quick. There is the idea of you know we have talked about the way we can increase our gold medals, and the CS talked about also looking at other areas that we have not explored, so we don't just solely rely on athletics. Absolutely. I think it's a very big challenge to the NOC that in the next edition, for example, we can even have people who can shoot and us medals. That's
a challenge to NOC. We put in place strategies to widen our medal haul.
With proper infrastructure.
Today's question of the day, we're asking you, the EPL is back, and what are your expectations in the new season 2024-2025? You can engage us by sending your messages to 22422. The SMS lines are open. Hashtag Sporty Monday. We are on X at Citizen TV Kenya, at Isaac Swila, and of course on Facebook. You can send your thoughts and we'll be sampling some of them after the commercial break that we are heading into. But don't go away. When we come back in the second hour, remember we have a cocktail of interviews with you. I'll be speaking to Dr. Judith Murray, that is the mother to tennis star Andy Murray. Ziti Jimoy also had an engagement with Ugandan journalist just to get his perspective on East Africa's performance on the Olympics as well as the race for AFCON 2027. Sporty Monday will be back shortly.